Today, I would like to share some of my books that inspire me a lot in my day-to-day work and life as a person. And let's get started with it. So there's a first book here, which is called Medical Medium. This one is in Spanish. It's really amazing the way this book relates about how the body is able to heal itself through going into your thoughts, your belief systems, how we can help it biochemically with substances, but totally focused on the power of self-healing of the body. Now, this guy here, Anthony William, he channeled all this information, and it's worldly known. You may have heard of this book. It's really very interesting. It's a great inspiration for many people with a lot of diseases and pathologies. So, good advice to read this one. Here's a book I like very much. Apothecary. This is a great book with tons of information about all sorts of herbs you can make at home. Infusion of herbs, actually, how you can make tinctures and lots of things. So there's a whole index also, like you have headache or migraine or anything with your digestive system, you just go in here and there's an index and you can find it. You know, there's recipes to lower blood pressure based on ginger, cinnamon, and curcuma or turmeric. Great stuff. Wonderful source with beautiful illustrations, by the way. So that is a great woman, Nicole Appelian, PhD, by the way. So, good book. It's in Spanish, in English, and comes in many languages about microcirculation. Now, microcirculation is so important because it is basically the highway of all of your blood flow. It's not just your heart and your aorta and the big arteries, but it's the very small ones, the capillaries and the precapillaries. This is talking about how you can optimize blood flow perfusion in your body, and it explains how it works and how you can increase it. Very important for people that are aging or aging too fast, because ultimately blood, what it does, and it's my specialty as live blood analysis, what I practice since 2008, is that in the blood you can see the red blood cells that transport oxygen and nutrients. So when the infrastructure is white, like your capillaries and precapillaries, which is all about, this book is all about, you have good blood flow, you have good oxygen supply to your cells. And with enough oxygen, there cannot be disease. You can break a bone, but I'm talking about metabolic disease, okay? So you need a lot of oxygen, so you need to widen up your microcirculation. I might dedicate another video on that, because really oxygen is the key to health, okay? Great book. Well, this here is one of my favorite writers, Fritjof Capra. He lectured in the States a long time. He may be still lecturing, actually. And he's combining Oriental philosophy and knowledge and Western science together in books like this. This book is called Uncommon Wisdom. And it relates about the intricate connection between mind, body, and spirit, right? So, and your emotions in it. Great guy. There's another book of him that I will show you later. Very interesting. Fritjof Capra. Not very known, but excellent information. Rumi. This is inspiration for me as well. Rumi is a poet way back in time, and he represents the Sufi. Sufism is the spiritual branch of the Islam, right? So it's all poetry inside, small phrases about inviting you to live your authentic self, inviting you to be in connection with your inner self. And what is that inner self? And what is love in this context? Love as a source of intelligence, Not love like love on someone, but love as a source of intelligence, of a little molecule of intelligence. Very nice. This is sweet information, sweet and very deep information. Course of Miracles. Great book, very thick book with a lot of lectures and information on how to live your true self, how to live a life without fear, shame, and guilt. That's what this book is about. It's how to find God, not outside, but in yourself. Many of you may know this book. This has been translated in many, many languages. Great source of information. Oh, and this one here, the Nag Hammadi Library. Have you heard of this one? This is an amazing story. This is a book about Nag Hammadi, which is a little village somewhere up north, Egypt, near Cairo. And in the 40s of last century, a farmer was plowing his fields and he hit a big stone and he wanted to remove that stone. And this stone wasn't a stone, actually, it was a big vase laying there buried in the soil. And he dug it out. And in there were like stuff and it smelled like animal. And he thought, that's interesting to heat my house. I can burn that in my stove, in the chimney. And so he started doing that because it was wintertime. And his neighbor came and he said, this smells really weird. What are you burning? He said, well, I found these things on the earth on my land and just burning it because, good stuff burns really well. And he said, hold a minute, that's not, just bricks you can burn. This is information. So the guy already had burned like 10%, but 90% was still there. And it appears to be manuscripts from the year 30, 40 of the Christian era. So right after Jesus died. And it's information written from the first source of people that heard Jesus speak. That's what this Nag Hammadi book is about. And there's a lot of information that is completely different than what you read in the Bible. But this is non-altered. This is not filtered information about the lectures of Jesus. Really interesting if you want to go into history and find the essence of the teachings of Jesus Christ. It's in the Nag Hammadi Library. Very interesting. It's written in Old Aramaic, but translated in many languages. This book is in Dutch. It's great. It's Andreas Moritz, The Big Liver and Gallbladder Cleanse. I recommend that. The liver is the biggest organ we have, the biggest gland we have in our body. It's a very interesting book. A lot of information how you can clean up your liver to prevent disease, because if the liver isn't well, you are not well. You're tired, you don't filter. The liver filters a lot and is like producing over 400 chemical substances that keeps your body vibrant, alive, and healthy. So, big advisor, The Big Liver and Gallbladder Cleanse from Andreas Moritz. Good. So this is another book of Friedrich Capra, The Tao of Physics. Really recommend this one. It's the second one. He has written like 3 or 4 books. And this book is about the same thing. He has interviews with people all over the world about how Eastern philosophy and Western science meet. Very interesting. Good book here. I like this one. This is Daryl Anka, and he channels a guy, an entity, which is called Bashar. And Bashar seizes from some realm of reality and another dimension, and he looks upon Earth and he sees that we are masters of limitation, because we are limited, because we only sense things through smell, taste, touch, view, sight. And he says there's so many more dimensions you can sort of manifest yourself. And actually you are manifesting yourself in these other dimensions, but you're not aware because your consciousness is not focused on that. Interesting information. Helps very much to widen and open up your limited awareness of how we are in life, actually. How we are doing things day to day. We wake up, we have breakfast, we do our things, we go back home, etc., etc., etc. He breaks through this scheme of illusion. He says we're masters of limitation because actually your existence, your essence, the one you really are, is unlimited. Good information. He has a lot of information on YouTube as well. great known guy here, Gabriel Cousens, writes a book about spiritual nutrition. It's about a lot of information, as you can see, a very thick book. And it is about not what you eat, but how you eat. So it's about the spiritual value of food, of nurturing your body at a cellular level. And you nurture your body not only with spinach and vitamins and supplements, you nurture your body actually with your own energy profile. And that energy profile comes from how do I perceive the world. It's very interesting, very deep going book about, has protocols for detox, has good advice for good food. He says, try to eat food that has as much light in it as possible. Very interesting. People like Gabriel Cousens say that, and Dr. Thomas Lodi, a good friend of mine, say that, okay, you get the sun. Without sun, there's no life possible in this planet. So sun is very important for light, for your circadian cycle, for sleep rhythms, etc., etc., and the production of many hormones like D3, which is not a supplement or a vitamin, it's a hormone. So this is really very important stuff. He says, okay, what captures most sunlight on Earth? Is that an animal or a plant? Well, it's a plant because through photosynthesis, it creates its nutrition, actually. So it absorbs the light of the sun and it transmutes that into energy, which we eat. So we eat a percentage of sunlight through eating plants. When you go to an animal, then the animal is a vegetarian, like a cow or a pig, or they're vegetarians. They don't eat meat, as far as I know. Perhaps pigs do, but cows don't. And so we eat that meat. But the cow is one generation further away from the sunlight. So the cow eats plants, and the plants have received sunlight. So he says that eating vegetables, raw vegetables, is very important because they have all the amino acids we need in our body. Interesting source of information about food. And this is the last book, almost last book, Seth. Have you heard of Seth? Jane Roberts, Channel Seth. It's about awareness. What is this that is, you call me? How does it manifest in life? It goes very deep into what actually is consciousness. What is it? How does it create forms in life? In quantum physics, they discovered that the observer alters and influences in the observed, right? The particle that becomes a wave, vice versa, like the wave becomes a particle. And it depends on the way how you look at it. This book is all about that, but at a very understandable level, how you live your life and what awareness is manifesting through you. The meaning of dreams. This morning I had a conversation about your dream, right? And in your dream, everything is real. You can touch stuff in your dream. You can smell stuff in your dream. You see things really in your dream, even in color. Some people don't, black and white, but you can perceive things in color. You can hear music. You can actually sing in your dreams. But your body is laying there. Oh, eyes shut, nothing is moving. But it's real what your awareness is projecting in life. Now, when you wake in your dream state, it's real for you, as real as it is. And then you wake up and your body goes back and zooms into this reality, the other reality we live in. So it's about how you can create different realities from focusing from your consciousness and how you can manipulate consciousness in a way that it starts to create a different reality. Last book of my series of today, Pim van Lommel, a Dutch cardiologist. He saw many people in his practice, and some of those people died with heart attacks and strokes and stuff like that. And some of those people came back. And he interviewed those people. What did you see? What did you feel when you were not dead, like, near-death experiences? It's all about this guy, Pim van Lommel. He's real, and he wrote this book about endless consciousness, it's called. This is in Dutch, endless consciousness. And it's translated in many languages, Spanish, English, etc., etc. Good book. It makes you think about, is this, does death really exist? Are we really going to die? The me in me, is it going to stop functioning when the body dies? Very interesting stuff. I hope you enjoyed my little review on books that I read and that I use for my inspiration. Apart from that, a lot of medical books, obviously, because I keep on studying, attending my clients that come over to my consultation. Have a great day and talk to you soon.